Hi, welcome to our first video lecture. This is going to be an overview of section 3.1, which is the first section we will be covering as a required portion of this class. And the topic of this section is paired data and graphing. Now, what we mean by paired data? Each data point has got two pieces, and those two pieces are linked together. For example, if you look on page 171 of your text, or you can access this in the electronic textbook as well in section 3.1, you'll see that there's a graph there that relates the publication year to the price of a textbook. And the reason these data are paired is because the price really doesn't mean anything without the year. Throughout this course, we're going to do a lot of graphing, and most of our graphing is going to come in the form of ordered pairs. Now, hopefully you've seen ordered pairs before at one point or another in Algebra 1 or 2. But essentially what those are is an X and a Y that go together. And we're going to graph these on a standard XY coordinate plane. So just to refresh our memories, what that means is we've got two number lines. One is turned on its side sideways. This is the Y-axis. Whoops, sorry. This will make it easier to read. Y-axis. And the other one is placed as normal. That is the X-axis. Just like all other number lines, we typically have a set of tick marks on here that tell us the scale. So if I put tick marks on, then typically I put numbers next to them, 1, 2, 3, etc. and so forth, right? And then, so these number lines, on the y-axis, the top numbers are positive, the bottom numbers are negative. -1, -2, -3, and so on. On the x-axis, again, this is just a number line. So each tick mark represents one number. And this is 1 positive numbers to the right, negative numbers to the left. So on this axis that I've drawn, each tick mark represents one number. And always when we draw these, positive will be on the left, positive will be on the right, negative will be on the left. Positive will be on the top, negative will be on the bottom. So let's look at how we use ordered pairs to actually represent data on these things. I'm going to erase some stuff that I don't need anymore. And I'm going to ask us to think about where would the point -2, 4 be on this grid. Now, -2 corresponds with the x coordinate. So we'll go to -2 on the y-axis, which is right there. Or sorry, -2 on the x-axis, which is right there. And 4 on the y-axis, which is right here, because 4 lines up with the y. These will always come in xy pairs, always alphabetical order. So the point -2, 4 goes right there. Okay, and we just indicate that by putting a dot. The point to -4 would be over here. We count 2 horizontally and go down 4 vertically. That's the point to -4. Okay. Graphing points is not nearly as interesting as graphing curves. So you're going to do some graphing in this section, and I'm going to redraw my axes, and we'll do some more graphing here. And I'm going to give myself a different scale so that I've got more room. Whoops. Let my technology help me make that straight. Okay. So I'm just putting my tick marks on here. Each tick mark will represent one number. The only thing I've done different is I have just made this, I've skipped some grids in my, or some squares in my grid, because my grid's smaller than I want to draw on this with this pen. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to graph a line. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So we'll come back to my grid here in a second. What we're going to do is we're going to graph, whoops, the line 2x plus 3y equals 6. Okay, and the deal is you can pick any number you want for one of those two coordinates. You can pick any number you want for x or any number you want for y. We can only pick one, but then we get to find the other one from the equation. So let's pick x equals 0. Now we're going to find the y. And we do that by plugging in our chosen x value. So we've got 2 times x, but we've said that x is 0. So I'm going to put 0 in where my x is. Plus 3y equals 6. If we solve that for y, we get y equals 2. Now what that means is that the point 0, 2 is a point on my line. So let's go back over here to my grid, and let's put on the point 0, 2. If x is 0, we start at the origin, because that's where both x and y are 0, this point where the number lines cross. And then 2 is right there. That is the point 0, 2. Okay, now let's find another one. Let's pick, let me put that someplace else. Y equals 0. And then we'll find, whoops, not fing, sorry, find x. So same equation, and now we write 2x plus 3y, but we've said that y is 0. Equals 6. Solve that and we get x equals 3, which means that the point 3, 0 is on our graph. So let's go back over here and put 3, 0 on our graph. Okay, now that's 2 points on our line. Nifty thing about lines, and I'll talk to you in a minute about how I know that this thing is a line. So if I plug in another number, let's go back over here. Let's just do this. So I'm going to erase my stuff again because I'm running out of room. And I'm going to put these in tables now because you've got the idea. So the easy way to do this is to make a table for x and for y. And we've already said that if x is 0, y is 3. And if y is, if y is 0, and I did that wrong too. If y is 0, x is 3. Now we can pick other numbers. For example, we could pick, well, this is where it gets a little harder because I don't want, well, we'll just pick one. If I let x be 1, well, that means that 2 times 1 plus 3y equals 6. Work at solving that, so 3y equals 4, so y equals 4/3. Now 4/3 is a perfectly good number, it's just not very easy to graph, but you get the idea. Now I told you a minute ago this is going to make a line, and this is how we know. If we look at our equation and we don't have any exponents, see here, there's no exponent, and there's no exponent on either the x or the y. That means this is what's called a linear equation. We'll spend some more time with these. We'll do a lot of graphing. Every linear equation, when we graph its solution set, makes a straight line. So let me explain to you what we're doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these two dots with a straight line, and hopefully, alright, that's not bad. You should use a straight edge when you do that. Let's see if I can make my straight edge work. Sometimes it doesn't like to work so good with this. I'm drawing on my iPad. This always makes life a little interesting when I get to do this stuff. Let's see. Oh, well, you know, it's not going to be too bad. Whoops, I missed. Okay. Easier with a pencil, but pencils don't work so good on iPads. Okay, there we go, that's better. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually drawn a picture of the points that satisfy our equation. And our equation, remember, was 2x plus 3y equals 6. Every xy pair that lies on that line will go into that equation and give us a true statement. All right. Now, not every equation will make a straight line when you graph its solution set. There are a lot more examples in your textbook. I want to keep these under 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to give you a short quiz. Now, what I want you to do with this quiz is I'm going to give you a problem, and I want you to write it out on paper, and then somehow make a digital image of it. I do not want you to do these using any online graphing utility. I want to make sure you can do this by hand if I'm asking you to. So, what you're going to do is take a picture of it with your cell phone, scan it, but somehow capture it digitally. Probably taking a picture with your cell phone is easiest. And then you're going to email that picture to me, or if you're using your cell phone, you can just send it as a message, just like you would message a picture to one of your friends, and send it to my email address. And you can find my email address on the course website, on the Blue Mountain website, or I'll give it to you right now. So here are your instructions. Put quiz 1 on your page, and what I want you to do is I want you to sketch the graph of the equation y equals, whoops, all right, 2x minus 6. Just make yourself a grid line or a coordinate system, sketch that graph, snap a picture with your phone, and email it to me. And my email address is aharden@bluecc.edu. All right, everybody have a great day.